This week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, after a tough season, Kyle Lamore is looking to strike it rich in Illinois.
It's a shooter, it's a good deer.
And then we have the main event as Chris Comstock heads out in Missouri as he lasers in on a stud that might be one of the largest whitetail bucks featured on Natural Born this season.
We knew 2021 was going to be tough. For the first year ever on either farm, we didn't have a true big boy to chase. So it's always a little bit disheartening. Now, with that being said, you know when November gets here and even December, that can change in a blink. Well, that calendar, those pages are turning quickly, and all of a sudden, the equation starts to change. Suddenly, those Reconyx picks start dialing in, and there's a buck or two all of a sudden you've not seen. And one of them was a very nice, big, heavy 10-point, and he was a pretty common occurrence. He was there around Halloween, disappeared for a few weeks, but then, when we start to get closer to December, he starts to show up. Well, here's the good news. The good news is it is opening day of Illinois second gun season. For the last 6 years in a row now, we have killed a very good buck during second gun season. The temperature is almost 70 degrees, but I did check DeerCast and it says northwest wind, and anytime you get that northwest wind and a little bit of cloud cover, my hopes go back up because that gets deer on their feet. You can't kill them at home. It's second gun season. Hey, I'm gonna go out and give this thing a try.
I just got settled into the old muddy blind. I am solo cam proing tonight. I am filming myself because my sidekick has got the old COVID. Trying to do something I have not done very often. I've never done this successfully. Fingers are crossed, hoping to let the old traditions rock and roll tonight.
A couple deer step out, and then wouldn't you know it, about the fourth or fifth deer to enter the field, it's him. It's that nice 10-pointer that we've got the trail camera pictures of the last few nights. Game time.
Winchester USA Ready Defense is a select grade of personal defense ammunition that offers a unique combination of stopping power, penetration, and reliable expansion. The innovative hex vent rigid insert shields the hollow point by channeling soft material for positive expansion and energy transfer. Built with match-grade primers for trusted reliability. Be ready when you need it most with USA Ready Defense.
I did it, baby. I freaking did it. I dropped the hammer on that big old stud. It has been a long, long season, man. A long season. And I just freaking put one on the ground. Finally, that's a good buck.
Man, I squeezed off that Traditions and that old bullet hit him right there in that high shoulder. Boom, ton of bricks, down he went. Cameraman and hunter all in one. I was stoked, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to call Kalister. I knew he wouldn't believe me. Actually, he probably would. I feel I have a little better luck when he's not there. And I called another buddy because I knew JJ couldn't come out. He's gonna help me with the recovery, get some more picks, and celebration time, Illinois second gun season, baby. It is the 6th year in a row. 6 years in a row we have killed now second gun season. First season we struggled so bad, but second gun season, these old boys get on their feet. They're looking for any and all available last does, and that's exactly what this guy was doing tonight. Tonight I was by myself. Kalister's sick. We think he's got the COVID. It's the first shooter I have seen from the stand the entire year, probably 28 hunts in total. This is the first one we've laid eyes on, and so it's a good feeling to get one tag punched here in Illinois. Muzzleloader season, put the Traditions to work.
Congrats, Kyle. 6 years in a row on second gun season in Illinois is quite the feat.
Yeah, that's a stud. That's a freaking stud.
Now, let's stick around in the Midwest with Chris Comstock in the Show Me State.
Going into the 2021 fall here, my expectations is going to be kind of all over the board. My good farm so far on Rayconics pictures have not showed much, and the farm that I live on, I do have a picture of a decent deer. Now, game plan's trying to get everything set up to hunt it. While the fall work, continued, trying to figure out his home core area, I was going into the hunts with 5 or 6 pictures of this deer, but knowing that was kind of where he was at, so the game plan was all coming together. We just had to move in and figure out the right days to hunt.
Well, here we go, it's October 30th, trying for the buck we had a good encounter with. There's only one deer I'm probably trying to kill this year, but we had a good encounter with him last Friday night out of this blind. Hunted Saturday morning, Saturday night, did not see him. We haven't seen a deer yet. We'll get settled in here and see what happens. week ago, 52. He came to 72 there. At 52 the other night, I would have killed him. It was too dark. I could, if he'd have walked at 52 then, I would have killed him because it was plenty of daylight. But that is a deer, the one and only deer I'm after this year. But we did see him. He's not spooked at all. He's just being a buck.
DeerCast is now supercharged with maps. Get ahead of your game with killer new features like live Doppler radar, wind check out to 5 days, virtual rain gauges, GPS path tracking, and more. Plus, get our 14-day revolutionary DeerCast prediction and access to DeerCast Track. Prep, predict, and pursue with DeerCast.
We're back with Winchester and Drury's Natural Born. Last time we joined up with Chris Comstock, he was in hot pursuit of a dream buck who's looking to take the #2 spot on this year's top 5 hit listers. Now he's jumping back into the blind for hopefully another chance at sealing the deal on this Missouri Monarch.
Well, I hunted all opening weekend for this deer, and we never laid eyes on him at all, and I felt like then he was probably laid down with a doe in the ditch behind my house, which I don't have anything there to hunt. Fast forward to Wednesday, DeerCast said great, cold front was coming through, it was good and chilly that evening. I took the day off, went in self-filming. I had the Winchester Model 70 in my hands and that 30-06 caliber with that Deer Season XP. Mentally told myself tonight will be the night that he'll show up with all nights. Just knew that, you know, if he stepped in that bean field, it was going to be the end of him.
Oh, here we go. It's November the 17th. I've got one deer in particular that I'm here to kill, and that's the only deer that I'm going to squeeze the trigger on. Had several encounters with him during bow season. As visible as this deer's being, I've had him at 52, had him at 73 the next weekend, and then I had him at 64 on Sunday, and I would have shot him at 64 had it not been so windy. It's just a matter of time till he screws up and presents me a shot. Anyhow, we're gonna get settled in here and see what happens.
The Winchester felt real good. The crosshairs on the loophole settled in right where they ought to be, and I thought I could make that shot. And he'd done a, kind of a mule kick there, and it didn't take me long to lose sight of him. So I called a couple buddies. They came to help on the track job. I got out of the blind, walked up to where impact was at, and there was blood there. The track job was actually relatively short. Totally went maybe 100 yards after the impact.
Thank you for coming and tracking. This is the most visible big deer I've ever had in my life. He's everything that I thought he was. We're gonna get my tag notched here, get him out of here and get some good photos and a better hero here in a minute. Well, the evening of November 17th is one that's gonna go down in my history books forever for me. Got my target deer last night. We brought him back out today, take some pictures and stuff with him, and couldn't be more tickled to be sitting behind this deer. 181 and 7/8. DeerCast said good last night. Went in self-filming. It's probably the most visible deer, big deer that I've ever been on in my life. And it finally came together last night. The Winchester found its mark, made a 270-yard shot, and at the end of it, this is what we ended up with. Couldn't be more tickled to be sitting behind this deer.
This segment presented by DeerCast Windcheck. Hunt the wind up to 5 days in advance.
Next week on Winchester and Drury's Natural Born, we're handing things over to Brandon Jennings, who's biting at the bit to see if he can get not just himself, but also his son Parker on some whitetail beauties.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Sportsman's Channel, your home for everything red, wild, and blue.